There we are. Let's make sure we've got sound as well. That would be really helpful. Okay, so let's just do a check. Can you see the new challenge bullseye? You can hear me and you can see me. Just let us know. Yeah, I'll just have to take a minute for the chat to catch up. All good. Excellent. Let's do this. I remember to put the time on the clock. So there it is. Fantastic. So let's get this party started. So where are we at? Congratulations. If you're watching this, you have chosen a market, which is brilliant. And now we can start to learn and do things which are critical to that market. In the first part of the challenge, we were building up skills, expanding skills, and we will continue to do that as we go forward, because just because we're now working with a specific market doesn't mean that we don't continue to build our skills. And you'll notice that this week, even though we are going to be starting to look at a specific market, I've still done it in such a way that we are still, it's sort of drills based. So this will be useful for you not only now, but in the future to come. And particularly this week, where we're tackling such a key area, which is the second biggest rabbit hole that people could go down to after picking up after picking a market to practice with. Again, it's worth reiterating that you've picked a market to practice. I don't expect you to be successful with the market that you have chosen. Indeed, I will be angry if you become successful with a market. So that is totally very important for you to understand. So this is for fun, right? This is for practice. Now, while we're doing it for fun, it doesn't mean we don't take the practice seriously. So as we're doing our work this week, we're working as though this is live, right? This is live practice, right? And I know a few of you have joining from various courses and so on. So you'll have a market that's well and truly picked already, and that's fine. Use that market, right? But I just want to point out that the techniques will help you find a successful market. But it's very important as we go forward, particularly in this week, to realize that the market is for practice, and most importantly, that we're in a no judgment zone again this week. There is literally no judgment to be had. There are no bad results. There is no wrong stats. There is no wrong anything this week, right? We are purely absorbing. All right. So it's very important, right? There is no judgment. Okay. No editing. All right. Let's get cracking. So I want to talk to you about the research trap. We need to research, and I'll explain why it's so important. The thing with research, and you started to see this when we were going through our market exercises, and even when we were doing our wow facts exercises, as well as our headline exercises. Too many times people were attaching a win-loss ratio to their wow facts, or their market choices, or the fact that I asked you to say research how many books there are in Amazon, and because there were a small amount of books, you deemed that to be a loss, a negative result. And it's very important that you it's not your fault. Again, this is drilled into us well over a decade, 2 decades in some people's cases, education. But we're not at school anymore. We're in business, and we need to absorb and understand key specific things about our markets. Now, typically, the vast majority of entrepreneurs fit into 2 camps, right? We have our fact finder, our higher fact finder, which are people who love research. And we have our quick starts, I'm in the quick start category, and they tend to avoid doing research. Now, but they'll start and do experiments, and fact finders will struggle a little bit with that. So this is what I want you to understand about research. Research in some ways for about 35% of you is the most comfortable area that you can possibly, it's like a warm, relaxing bath, right? You just feel, oh, I'm just getting information. And unfortunately, the potential negative here is that you're always after, I don't have enough information yet, right? I don't have enough information yet to go ahead with this particular market or start this particular business. I'm always looking forward to more of, I'm always looking forward to getting more information and more data. The research part is almost like educational crack cocaine. And you're never at the point where you go, right, it's time to move on now, and it's time to execute. It's time to create a minimum viable funnel. It's time to create a Facebook group, or it's time to create whatever it is. It can be, as Nello pointed out there in the chat, a comfort zone, right? It can be very, very comfortable. Alternatively, the high quick starts among you, of which I am one, we tend to just barrel into the market and we don't do enough research, right? So we don't understand the market enough. So we make really basic rookie errors. And so there's a balance that we need to strike. And that's what I really want to teach you this week. So again, the structure is like last week when we're choosing our market. We've got a 5-day process that we'll be going through this week, and we'll be doing 25-minute sessions again all through the week this week. But as always with the challenge, I'm always promise you to explain why we're doing things a certain way. And I'll skip there. And I just want to go quickly to this photo here, which was taken recently, just a month or so ago in Las Vegas, when all three of us there, Caleb, Sam, and Sumdil, we were all speaking at the Gary Halbert Memorial event, which was an amazing event, really outstanding. But Caleb in particular had an incredible presentation, and the whole title for this week is actually called Bullseye. And it was a line from his presentation, which explained why Gary Halbert, which most people acknowledge is the greatest direct marketer of certainly, of all time, basically, unfortunately passed away 12 or so years now. But, and all three of us were all proteges of Gary Halbert. And Caleb delineated Gary's expertise better than I'd ever heard before, which was his ability, his superpower, his ability was to be able to absolutely hit the bullseye of the need, the pains, the gains of a particular market, so that he would be able to absolutely zero in and absolutely understand what this person needed for a particular market. And if you can address people's needs, if you can solve their pains, show them the path to get where they want to go, and show them how to do things, that is the ultimate in terms of marketing. It makes marketing easy the more you can do that. The trouble is, most people, and I put myself in this category as well, don't go to the effort of really understanding the market. And indeed, at this event, we had a field trip. We had an Academy field trip, and a whole bunch of people, Academy members from the United States, came out the day before the conference. Some flew in from all over the country. It was amazing. And Kara, one of our Academy squad members, she said this phrase, and I've been quoting it incessantly, when she was talking about trying to identify the challenge in her marketplace. And she said, I understand cats, but I don't understand cat people. Now, you could take that phrase and apply that to any market that you could possibly think. I get sausage making, but I don't understand sausage making people. And the thing that Gary knew well, and that he knew brilliantly, is that he didn't have to know how to be a great sausage maker. He didn't have to know anything about sausage making at all. In fact, he very dismissively called any product the mud because he knew that wasn't important. What was important was to understand the sausage making person, the type of person who would buy a course on sausage making or buy a new sausage making machine. That's what he knew, and that's what he played to. And our job when we're creating our business is to understand the people more than even the product, which is why I always point out that you don't have to be an expert in the market itself, right? There are plenty of experts that can help you. You can hire them. You can do all sorts of things. You can interview them, right? There's, you don't have to know how to build a sausage making machine to be able to identify a really good sausage making machine and organize its drop shipping so you can sell sausage making machine to sausage makers. But for you to be able to do that, for you to be able to understand how to do that, you need to know what drives the sausage making person. And this is the big deal, right? So in research, people spend all their time trying to research the product. All right. You've all picked a market. Now, for some of you, and I hope most of you, all of you, have picked a fun market, a market that you're just interested in, and you may have no expertise in it whatsoever. And that is great. Right, that is fantastic. Now, you may be mistaken, and listen to this really carefully. This right here is the most important thing I'm going to say all week and maybe all year. You think you now have to become an expert in that market. Wrong. You have to become an expert in that market's people. Right? Not the market, the people. Now, for a lot of you, when you build, you think, oh, okay, I've got to become an expert in this market. And it's fun, right? It's fun for you high fact finders. This is an awesome thing to do. Like I'm neck deep up into getting back into vinyl records and what the right record player and speaker and tube amplifier and phono preamp and all of these sorts of things, right? I'm super excited, and it's so fun, right? You can just spend hours and hours and hours researching and becoming really clever and knowing what the difference between a magnetic cartridge and a moving magnet cartridge and a moving coil cartridge, and what that means to the music, and what this type of cable does better than that type of cable. You can go nuts with all of that, but you will stay broke. You have to understand what drives vinyl lovers, people who are fascinated by audiophiles. You need to have to understand them as people. What drives them emotionally? What are their pains? What are their gains? What are their jobs to be done? These are the things that you need to understand as a business builder and as a business creator. That is way more important for you to understand than the actual stuff itself, which is why, by the way, you can have people come in, dare I say it, somebody like myself or anybody else, and they can actually help you with your market, even though they don't have to be an expert in that market. Because what they have to understand is the human condition. How does a human being make a decision? What drives that decision in your particular marketplace? So, all the research and everything that we're going to do this week is completely 100% focused on the audiophile and their drivers, the way they make decisions, and we're not investigating what type of tube amplifier, what type of record player, what type of cartridge should we put on the tone arm, what type of tone arm should we use, what material should the platter be, right? We're not interested in that. I'm fascinated. I love that stuff. I'm super duper interested. But as a business builder, the only thing I need to know is what motivates somebody like me to buy a particular piece of gear, right? What are the emotional decisions that they make? What are the problems they are trying to solve? What do they imagine the experience will be like of having the perfect record player, all of those sorts of things. And does that make sense, everybody? Let me know in the chat if that if you're smelling what the rock is cooking, because it's a huge distinction, right? And it's vital that you need to understand. That's it, Marsha. You've hit it the nail on the head. Research on the people, not the product, right? And that is absolutely crucial. Fantastic. I'm so glad you've got that, because that's the core point of today. So all of this week, what we'll be focusing on are the only things to research. And that is what you see here on the screen in front of you. We're only looking for the pains, the gains, and the jobs to be done. Okay. They're the only three things that motivate people to go and solve a particular challenge that they have. They are either trying to avoid a pain, they're trying to move towards something, in other words, gain something, improve their lot in whatever market you happen to have. And they're also have jobs to be done, right? They just literally have, how do I select the right cartridge for my tone arm, which is a vinyl record thing, right? Should I use a moving magnet cartridge, or should I use a moving coil cartridge? What is that, right? What are all the elements in figuring that out? Right. So that to me is a job to be done, because maybe there's okay, well, what are your requirements? Maybe I do a checklist or any of those sorts of things. But that's gold, because if I understand jobs to be done, what are the reason that the person wants to make sausages is that they might like the taste of sausages, but there's a deeper reason why they're making sausages. Are they making it for approval? Do the people that they live with, or that they eat with, or they have dinner with, appreciate the sausages? So they're actually getting that, the emotional benefit of being lauded as a brilliant cook and somebody who can, create, they get invited to the barbecue because people want them to bring their magnificent sausages, right? That is what we're after, and that is what we're looking at, and that is what we're researching. Childhood trauma. Yes, exactly. Could be that. So when we're looking for things, and don't worry, I'm going to show you exactly where to look very shortly. But when we're looking for things, we're looking for these three things and these three things only. These are the things that are the only things that matter when it comes to putting together any sort of marketing strategy. This is the starting point. So when we're researching the market, we want to understand pains. So for example, here I've got, if you're seeing a pain whenever you see I hate, or this sucks, or geez, I wish it would do this, or I wish it would do that. This is crazy. This is all, this, it's so annoying when this happens, right? That when you see those phrases, you should light up, because the inner marketer should be going, that's a pain. And we're jotting that down on our 3x5 card, where we're grabbing our card, and as I've got a box of 500 always by my side, right? We're grabbing the card and we're writing that down as a pain. And then, you see something, I wish I could make bratwurst. I'd love to make bratwurst. My mother-in-law loves bratwurst, and she's been giving me a hard time lately, and I'd really love to do that. So this is a really cool option when it comes to finding a gain. And then anytime you see somebody saying, hey, how do I do this? Or how do I do that? Guess what? That's a job to be done. That's something. I wonder how do you select the right type of casing for my sausage? What are the ingredients for a bratwurst sausage? These are all jobs to be done. So these are all the types of things that we need to be researching, because the only products or services that we're eventually going to create, and I know some of you, I noticed in the Academy forum, are already fretting about, what product are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, guess what? I have no clue. You should have no clue, because this is no judgment zone. I'll tell you when we'll judge. Don't worry. But for right now, I can tell you, hint, spoiler alert, is that these pains, the gains, and the jobs to be done are the little seeds out of which products and services eventually grow, right? And it's by helping people with pains, gains, and jobs to be done that we eventually create awesome products and services which sell themselves. And that is what we're going to be doing with that this week. So they're the three things that we're going to be looking for. So then the question becomes, well, where are we going to look for them? Funny, you should ask. But before we do that, I want to teach you, and this really is offensive that I'm teaching anybody how to research, because my scholarly endeavors were worse than dreadful, right? I was the worst student in history, just really bad. So how an entrepreneur should research, right? This is how an entrepreneur should research. First of all, when we're creating our sessions, we have a time limit. So for this week, for those of you in the challenge, the time limit is 25 minutes. We're going to set, it's almost 25 minutes there now. We're going to set a timer for 25 minutes, and we're going to do it because research, more than any, particularly for you high fact finders out there, research is a rabbit hole that you can go down, and you can convince yourself that you're really putting in amazing research effort and energy, but your productivity drops off a cliff. And particularly now, while we're building our entrepreneurial muscle, eventually you'll work up to 50-minute research sessions. But for this week, we're just going to do 25-minute sessions. So I'm going to want you to schedule in 5 25-minute sessions. So we need to have the 25 minutes as our time limit. Then the next thing, and this is a thing that people really miss, which is, where are you researching? So not only do you have to say, oh, okay, I'm going to spend 25 minutes researching, but you have to be more specific. Where are you researching? Are you researching on Amazon? Are you researching in Facebook groups? Are you researching in forums? Where are you researching today? You have to be specific about where you're researching, because otherwise you sit down and great, 25 minutes of research. And then you spend 10 minutes of that thinking, oh, should I go to the Facebook group? Should I go to Amazon? Should I blah, blah, blah? Should I blah, blah, blah? Right? All of those things. And that is not what we want to do either. So you must delineate, where are you going to research? And fortunately for you, I've taken all of that out of your hands by telling you exactly what you're going to do for each of your 5 sessions. But this is for the future as well. The third thing that you need to ask yourself is, what are you researching specifically? You just don't go into a forum and go, oh, I'm just having a look and see what hits my, tickles my fancy. That's not what we're doing here. Guess what? You should know it's pains, gains, and jobs to be done. That's what we're looking for. We've got our antenna out, our reticular activation system is on for pains, gains, and jobs to be done. There is also a fourth one that you should always be out and about and looking for, because I drilled you for it, and that is, surprise, wow facts. This is where your wow facts training and drills comes back to help you. Because now that you've got a market, I want you to be keeping a collection of wow facts. Like there might be this cool trick to, season the sausage casing so that it tastes a lot better. I don't know. I'm seriously making this up right now, but that's a wow fact, right? That's a fact that you want to pop on a 3x5 card, write wow on it, and put it in your collection, so that you've got, as you're building your research up, that is a great way to do it. So we've got wow facts, pains, gains, and jobs to be done. They're the things that we're going to be researching this week. So, for example, when we're creating a CFT, critical focus time, so it would be something along the lines of, let's make sure I've got yep, that's great. So 25 minutes researching, can't spell, but hey, who cares? Researching, my shorthand for pains, gains, and jobs to be done, you'll get used to this, is this: pains, gains, and jobs to be done on Amazon book reviews. That there is a really, really good well-defined research session. So we know how long we're doing it for, we're knowing where we're doing it, and we know specifically what we're looking for. Because if you let your brain know that, then your brain will, you've got this, you've got this engine in your brain, which is called the reticular activation system. It's the same thing that you notice whenever you buy a car or you're researching a car, all of a sudden you notice that car everywhere on the road. That is your reticular activation system. They're the sorts of things like if you buy a particular pair of sneakers, so you get your latest Yeezys, and all of a sudden you'll be walking around and you'll notice other people with Yeezys, right? That's the way that this reticular activation system works. And we can take that powerful system and apply it to your market and your research as long as we activate it. And that is how you activate it. Okay, next. So this week's sessions. So day one, which starts on Monday, tomorrow. Of course, yes, I know Australians, it's already Monday. We're in the future. But our first one is find your tribe and join it. And don't worry, I'm going to give you 3 ideas for finding your tribes and joining it. And indeed, last week, you probably found a couple of Facebook groups. For example, these are important. Then our next job is the next thing that we're going to do, day 2, is I'm going to teach you. Remember, we looked at Amazon last week? See, it's all chess, not checkers, hashtag, right? We're going to look at 4-star and 2-star Amazon reviews because they are a fantastic place to find unmet needs. Then day 3 and day 4, we're going to look at forums and Facebook groups. You're going to pick a couple of active ones and you're going to spend a couple of sessions looking in those groups for pains, gains, and jobs to be done. And then on our 5th day, we're going to be just sorting all our facts into pains, gains, jobs to be done. If you do it like me, you'll have 3x5 cards and you'll literally sort the 3x5 cards out into piles of pains, gains, jobs to be done. Let me say this, and this goes for literally 95% of you. Some of you are thinking right now, oh, I'm going to start and do this in Evernote, or I'm going to do this in, whatever electronic tool you use for collecting information. Don't. Entrepreneurs, there are some of you who are really good at that, and you'll sort of know who you are. But for the vast majority of you, you need to do it physically. You need to do it on pen and paper. Like I said, my preference is Sharpie and 3x5 card, but you need some sort of physical system, right? Because it's the only way that you'll get it done, right? Because I literally have a box, and I always keep, whenever I've got a project, I have literally a book box. The book boxes, they're about yay big, right? And I just throw my cards all in that book box. And then when I get to go to process, I literally go through the cards, look at them. Yeah, that's a pain. That's a gain. That's to be jobs to be done. And there's wow facts. So I've got 4 piles of cards. That's how I do it. So that is a key element. Jerry asks a question, good question. When you say tribe, are you referring to the market? Yeah, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, a market, what's a market but a group of people who are interested in a particular thing, or they're solving a particular thing. So when I use the word tribe, it's the people that are interested in the market that you have picked. All right. So that's the thing. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now, literally. So that's our 5 days. That's what we're going to be doing. Find your tribe and join it. 4 stars, 2 stars, forum group. By the way, as I always do, and if you're not a member of the Facebook group yet, you really should be. I'll be posting at midnight each day. I'll be posting each day a reminder of everything that's done. And what I'd love you at the end of the session to do, and if you haven't been doing this already, you must. The commentary and the feedback and the thoughts and stuff that people are putting in there are just phenomenal, right? It's just phenomenal. It really is fantastic. There's another question there. If you have 12 pains, for example, do you enter 1 on each card? Yes, I always have 1 pain, 1 gain, 1 job to be done, 1 wow fact per card. Absolutely. Great question, Gary. Thank you for that. So Christina's saying, actually, this is a good one. For me, one of the problems has been I deal with Spanish-speaking people and all the cures and tips are for English-speaking people. Gold, hello. What your ability is to take that stuff that's in English and translate it. Right? That is a huge business opportunity. So, which is fantastic. So that is really good. Although one of the places I'm about to show you will also be good for your specific languages as well. All right, we've got to go. We've got to keep moving. So let me change screens here. Let me just bring this up, and then let me change this screen here. There we are. All right, now let me just confirm. Can you guys now see? Hopefully, you're seeing my Amazon page. If you just let me know in the chat, just double check. Although I just switched back just to see your commentary. Yes, great. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. So all I did was typed into Amazon sausage making books. Okay, so I put that together. And then I sorted it by average customer review. All right. So that's all I did. There were, 101 results there for books, which is cool. So the number one book, and see, there's got 301 reviews. So that's a really good market there. And if you just hover, it depends. Now, if you're doing this on an iPad or iPhone, this might not pop up. But you can see here, the percentage of 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, and 1 stars. Now, somebody asked the question before, Ed, you mentioned 4 stars and 2 stars. Why? Well, people give 1-star reviews when they're angry or they're competitors or they're evil, right? So they're just angry. And so from a perspective of marketing perspective, useless information, right? 1 stars are useless. The same goes for 5 stars, right? Because they can be friends, family, people that love the books. They're gushing reviews, right? There's no thought. 5 stars, right? It's awesome. You should always rate my stuff 5 stars, though. Don't let me, please. I'll just do my stuff. However, when somebody rates 4 stars, right, 4 stars reviews, then they've thought about it, right? There's something that is literally not making them choose a 5 stars. So that's very powerful information. There'll be something in there that is missing. And of course, that usually relates to a pain, a gain, or a job to be done. And same with 2 stars. 2 stars is they're angry, but there was a redeeming feature. There was something there that meant that they were more considered than a 1 star. So when you look at the psychology of this, it's very important to focus on the 4 stars and the 2 stars. And I think if you click on here, you'll actually get taken to 4-star reviews. And you can see, so I've got top rated, all reviewers, 4 stars only. Okay. Great recipes. Just be careful with the seasonings. Boom. Pain right there on the headline. I purchased this book yesterday. I was ambitious and wanted to try out some of the recipes. I started out with the portobello sausage for a nice lunch meal. Easy and fantastic. Real keeper of recipes. So they love that. Next, I wanted to try the cocciccino. We host an exchange, blah, blah. Right, this person's gone into such detail. This is the type of review where you go in depth. We talked with Ryan Levesque about when somebody just writes 5 stars, great book, right? It's just out of habit, right? Whereas if somebody spends the time to write these reviews, these people are really thinking about it. So how do I rate this book? I will give it 4 stars. The recipes look good and relatively easy with readily available ingredients. That's the pain. That's a positive. Boom, jotting that down. Thanks very much. The negative is the author's fondness for cloves. And again, he goes in, they go, I would have never used the quantity of cloves specified in the bockwurst recipe, right? So there you go. And when I think about marketing, that is gold. That is beyond gold, right? When you think about it, like what a great bullet point. So many sausage making recipes use too much clove, and if you really know what's going on, you need to reduce the amount of cloves. So this is pure gold, right? This thing. So great first book. I'm new to sausage making. Now this one, the recipes I've tried, I will agree, are too weakly spiced for my taste. Right? So think about, how do you add spices? And what's the right way to add spices? That, to me, is a pain right there. I'm very pleased what I learned from it. I'm saving money and making healthier, tasty sausages at home. Boom, 2 gain points. Saving money, tasty sausages at home. There's a wealth of information here at this in this area. Then if you go to the 2-star reviews, you click on the 2 stews. Bought for hubby, he made some and it was yummy. Only 2 stars, harsh marker. There are many reasons for sausage making this book, but those that I've tried were not really great. It's an informative book, but I'm not crazy about the recipes. Can't wait to use this, 2 stars. That is so unhelpful. So do you see how short reviews are super unhelpful? However, look at this. For the novice sausage maker, this book gives a good overview of the process, but the recipes are the disaster. Then they go on to say why they're a disaster. Explains it, the first chapter explains the history. And look at this, history of the sausage, necessary equipment, ingredients. Boom. Jot those down. Thanks very much for coming. Although I never intended to make a cured sausage, I found that section of the book to be enlightening. See, so there's some positives there. This is a fantastic review. Right. Sadly, a newbie is likely to make failed batches before knowing how to tweak the faulty recipes. And I'm sure it goes in there. I know a traditional Sheboygan sausage does not contain whole coriander. Oh, my goodness. Putting coriander in the Sheboygan. Oh, my goodness. What a mistake. But I don't know anything about sausage making. But boy, I could sound like I do. Oh, the Sheboygan. Just one thing. Make sure you don't use coriander in the Sheboygan sausage. See how that works? Brilliant. Okay. So that is why we use 2-star and 4-star reviews. And look at all this gold. And we've gone through one book of 101 books. All right. So I need to keep cracking. Let's go to our next source that I'm going to talk about, forums and groups. And as we did the other day when we were looking at research, now you'll start to understand why I was getting you to research this stuff. Because for a lot of you, some of you didn't find groups, but for a lot of you did. And so I'm looking here for, Emmy Sausage Making has 17 posts a year. That is not a group that's active and is useful for our research purposes. Law making is like sausage making, is probably nothing to do with actual sausage making. So, but look at this, cured meats and sausage making, 10 posts a day. That's perfect, right? That is a Facebook group Facebook group that's got some action and that is useful. Look at this, cold smoking, curing and sausage making, 40,000 members, 10 posts a day, right? I will be joining those groups and see, there you go. This group is about making, you must read and abide by the group description. What would you like to learn about making sausage curing and cold smoking? Great little thing. What's your favorite sausage, cured meat or cold smoke product? What a awesome little, almost like a little bit of ask and bucket and research making to see that people are legit about the subject. So I would talk about my Sheboygan, and I would like to know about spicing, right? Just from my research from Amazon, which is why we do the Amazon first, okay, as we're learning to go through it. So Facebook groups are one spot for doing that. The second place that I want you to have a look is, I want you to go to Google and type in sausage making forum. And what Google's really good at, yes, hi Google, how are you feeling today? Okay. So with Google, no, that's all right. That's all right, Google. Just calm down. Google is very good at being able to, like, they highlight typically the most active forums for you. So in this case, sausagemaking.org seems to be the OG in forums. So this week's favorite resource, the web's favorite resource for sausage makers everywhere. This is my people. Here they are. And you can see, look at all of these posts, right? Lots of action, lots of stuff going on. So fantastic. Great. So we've got forums, we've got Facebook groups, and we've got Amazon as the three places that we're going to look. Now, what happens if there are no forums, but there are Facebook groups? Fine. Just research the Facebook groups. What if there are forums, but no Facebook groups? Then just research the Facebook groups. What if there's no groups whatsoever, but there's a lot of stuff on Amazon? Then fine, just research the Amazon stuff. Find where your tribe is, research your tribe. And if you need help, then that's a great opportunity to go to the group and say, hey, I'm looking at doing X market and I can't find anything on that marketplace. Can you help? And get your fellow challengers to help you out a little bit in terms of finding places. But the idea last week was, this is why we went and did the market research, right? So that you chose a market based on Amazon, Facebook groups, and Google searches, right? See what we did there? See what I did there? It's all part of the process. All right. Let me just go back to the iPad here and we'll just sum up. And then if there's any questions, now's the chance for you to type them in the chat, because I'm going to be bringing the chat back up in a sec. And I'll have a look at those. And then I'll let you get on with your week ahead. Let me share that screen. Fly that up there. Fly that there. Tap that. Tap that. Pop that, do that there. So there's our this week's sessions. So the first session is purely, hey, let's check out what's on Amazon. Let's join some groups. Let's register for some forums. All right. That's the first session. And then day 2 is going to be researching our 4-star and 2-star Amazon reviews. Then day 3 is going to be our by the way, that also, if you're into e-commerce, physical products, or any of those sorts of things, same applies, right? If you're a sausage making machine, go to the 4-star sausage making machine reviews and the 2-star sausage making machine reviews, and they'll tell you what they love and don't love about that product. It's incredible, right? It is absolutely fantastic. Hey, if you're live and you love this session, make it rain. Give me some dollars for some Subway. Just tap the dollar sign there. And if you could, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. That would be fantastic. So that's it. Okay, any questions? Why no 3 stars? Because 3-star people can't make up their mind. They're ambivalent. They're meh. So we avoid 3-star people. Wow, never thought to use Amazon like this. Cool. Difference between day 3 and 4 is no difference. You're just adding to your pains, gains, jobs to be done, and wow facts. All right, so that's all you're doing in days 3, 4, and maybe even 5. There's no law to say if you want to do more sessions, but what I want to say is, please restrict your sessions to 25 minutes. I want you to stop the research wanting more. Like Hemingway always used to stop in the middle of a paragraph at the end of a writing session, so he knew what to carry on with. I want you to do that the same. All right. And we're just doing 5 days of this research. So Amazon research on day 2 is a more in-depth version of Amazon research on day 1. No, Amazon research on day 1 is just finding, okay, here's the books, here's everything. So you don't have to spend time faffing around in day 2, right? So you've found your books and you know where they are. And so you can spend a good 25 minutes without having to faff around in day 2. That's why we do that. Thank you, Grave Belly. You are my favorite today. And that will go towards my Subway sandwich on a Monday lunch. I have the meatball I have my own special recipe. It's like a 6-incher, and it's meatballs, But then the secret, and here's the secret. This is for you guys, but particularly Grave Belly, because Grave Belly is my favorite, is that you add the chipotle sauce onto the meatballs. You think, no, this is crazy, but it's like, the first person who figured out, peanut butter and jelly is it's just amazing. And of course, you don't put coriander. I use the Sheboygan sausage, of course, but if somebody puts if somebody puts coriander on the Sheboygan sausage, I'm tossing tables. Like, I'm going mental, like full on WWE smashing tables on the Subway counter. Like, I go crazy. I can't believe people put coriander in a Sheboygan sausage. Who would do such a thing? I mean, duh. God, newbie. Seriously, who would do that with a Sheboygan sausage? I don't know. Crazy talk, right? Crazy. All right. Lungs, kidney, like you just literally, I just go apoplectic, totally postal in the Subway if they use a Sheboygan sausage and they dare to put in coriander, because everybody knows. And that's our lesson. Like, if you learn nothing else in this week's challenge, you now know that you never, ever, ever put coriander in a Sheboygan sausage. There you go. There's something in that for all of us. All right. Good luck. Have fun, everybody. Enjoy yourselves. Please please subscribe, please ring the bell. Make sure you join the Academy Facebook group so you can get reminders. Make sure you are on Facebook. You also read the announcements and sign up to the Facebook Messenger, because that's how I let you know all about that. Leslie is my new favorite. Thank you so much. Leslie, you are amazing. Thank you. I've totally now I've paid for the full 6 inches. Thank you very much. Indeed. All right. Thanks, everybody. Awesome. Ciao for now. Okay. Remember, for goodness sake, never put that coriander in the Sheboygan. Never. Has somebody Googled what a Sheboygan sausage is, by the way? I've got to check it out now. I need to know what a Sheboygan sausage is. I really do. All right. Bye, everybody. See you later.